Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here for the Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 1 Reunion Part 2. I hope you guys are doing good today. It is Monday. I am sorry for the late review, but my weekends, they've just been running crazy the past couple of months, and I just haven't been able to record my videos on Sunday like I normally would do, so I do apologize for that. Real life just takes precedence sometimes over my YouTube life. But to everybody that subscribed, to everybody that watches and comments, I do appreciate you for watching and sticking with me. I don't want you to think that I don't. I really, really do. So let's talk about the reunion. We find out that Martell and Mel are separated, and I think that's something that everybody's been wanting to know. Everybody's been wondering, watching Instagram, watching YouTube. And we find out that, yes, they are indeed separated. Their main concern right now is the children, Mel's successful pregnancy and childbirth. She doesn't want to make any moves until after she has her baby, if she does make any moves, which I don't think she will. Mel says that her primary concern is her children, her girls. She has to teach them about being a woman. She has to teach them what it is to be loved and respected, has to teach them what it is to be a wife, but also a woman at the end of the day. And so she has to make the best decisions for them. Martell is still in counseling. I wondered if they were in counseling together, but the host didn't ask, so we didn't get to find out if they are, but I hope they are. I think that they could benefit from doing counseling together. Egypt addresses the whole peasant conversation with the other woman, and Martell doesn't feel like he was wrong for calling her a peasant because she knew he was married. He also knew he was married, but she knew I was married. And yeah, she shouldn't have been dealing with me. She chose to deal with me, and so I called her a peasant. And he doesn't seem to feel any type of way about that. So all you side women out there who put yourself in a position, you know, that is what you may be called, a peasant. Okay, that's how I felt about her. He hasn't talked to her since. He doesn't know how she feels about being called a peasant, and he doesn't really seem to care. I'm not going over the whole peasant thing. I'm not even giving my thoughts or opinions. I'm going to let y'all give y'all thoughts and opinions, and we'll talk about it in the comments. But we've rehashed that a couple times, so we're just going to move on. The mamas come out. And I like Melody's mom because I feel like she makes good, reasonable, logical sense most of the time. She has the whole attitude of, I've never thought this would happen to my daughter. I never thought my daughter would be in this situation. I don't want my daughter to have to raise children the way that I raised children. But I've also been through the cheating situation, and I know how it feels, and I know she's hurt. I would have no problem with them getting back together if Martell became the man that I gave my daughter to, which I thought was a great and easy way of putting it. If you go back to the love and honor and cherish and be the man that you said you were going to be to my daughter, then I have no problem with y'all getting back together. But not until then. Miss Vanessa don't trust a man as far as she can see him. And Martell's mom is kind of along those same lines. A little bit of coddling, but we knew that about Martell's mom. She believes that her son is a good guy. And I don't believe Martell is a terrible guy, but he just got his ways about him. But she believes her son is a good guy. She wants her son to get back to that family man that he was. Martell's mom seems to be real old school, real throwback, real along the lines of, as long as none of this ever makes it home, then you can do what you want to do. I have my thoughts about that as well. I've been on both sides of that issue when it comes to my way of thinking. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do you believe that every man is going to do it, and it's as long as it doesn't make it home? Do you believe that not every man is the same way and you can't put them all in one box? I do believe that you can't put every man in one box. But as far as that, as long as it never makes it back to me, like it seems like it always makes it back. Like in some kind of subtle way it makes it back. So oh yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Y'all can let me know what you think. So then we move on to Kimmi, Kiowa, and Maurice, which is what we really came here to talk about. So let's get into that. We get to see videos of the tumultuous times in the relationship. Things have been said, things that haven't been said. And then we end up bringing Kiowa out because we want to hear what she has to say. Kimmi's main thing has been she says things about me that are not okay. And she's been saying those things when I'm not around. And she makes it so that Maurice has to hear those things and not say anything and let her get her way, because Maurice wants to have his son there. And it's frustrating for Kimmi. When Kiowa comes out, she was just like, well, when I saw those clips and I saw how uncomfortable you were just at the mention of my name, there's no way that you can love my son. If you really feel that way about me, if you hate me that much, she said hate. Remember that. If you hate me that much, there is no way you can love my son. Now, Kimmi responds and says that I've never said anything bad about her. It's never happened. Nobody can say that it's ever happened because it hasn't. And I don't feel any type of way about her. I don't hate her. I love her son. And that is when Kiowa interjects and says, I never said that you hated me. I said, Kiowa. Now, see, you just showed us in less than 3 minutes that you say things and then either don't remember what you say or just outright lie and say you haven't said them. I'm not sure which one it is, but you just exhibited that to the audience. I rewound that part 2 times to make sure she said the word hate, and she did. So keeping that in mind, let's move forward. Sorry, y'all. I'm in a busy parking lot. There's a lot going on. Okay. So let's move forward. So then we get into what words have been said. Well, I've been called a trick hoe. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. That shouldn't be funny, but I was like, trick hoe? It's such a throwback insult. I've been called trash. I've been called all of these things that are not true. And I don't know if you don't think these things are going to get back to me, but people that you talk to, they do get it back to me. And I'm just thinking to myself, I think that's Maurice's sister that's going back and forth and telling Kimmi what Kiowa says about her. Remember, I said a long time ago that I thought she was the catalyst? Okay. No proof, but I still think it's her. And Kia was just like, I don't care who's going back and saying stuff to you, because anything that I have to say about you, I would say it to your face, and I never called you trash. So then they go back and forth about this whole trash comment. And she does admit that in the text messages, she did call Kimmi trash. But this is only after Kimmi really has to take it to her, because she tried to say it was 10 years ago. And I was just like, Kiowa, girl, you are guilty of the same thing that Tisha was doing. You ain't ready. Okay, when it comes to a reunion show, y'all, the reunion show brings everything out of the box. It brings the box. We pull everything out the box. We talk about what's at the bottom of the box. We get all the lint and all the gatherings. We wipe the box clean with a Clorox wipe. We do everything with the box. Do not try to come up here and act like nobody's going to remember what you said, remember what you've done, or dig into what you said or done. This is your first reunion, so we're going to give all y'all a pass. But next time, you better be ready. So Kiowa is just kind of sitting there trying to figure out why she's being, crucified and talked to this way, because she still feels like she hasn't done anything wrong. They asked her questions about her feelings towards Maurice. She doesn't have any feelings towards Maurice. She's not bitter. She's remarried. It has nothing to do with that. The fans think she comes off that way, but that is not what's going on here. And that's not what's going on here. I think that Kiowa's problem is the fact that Maurice became a man that she would have liked to have when they were married, but he's become that man with Kimmi. Sometimes it goes that way, but I think that's what she is really upset about. She also says that there's been too many lies. Okay, they've been lying about when they got together. When they got together, we were still married. Sorry, y'all, I had a little burp. Kimmi and Maurice said that is absolutely not true. Now, when it comes to that situation, I do believe that Maurice and Kimmi were friendly during their separation period. I do. For some reason, I don't feel like Kiowa could be making all of this up, but I could be wrong. But they may not have been having sex. They may not have been officially dating, but, they were friendly. They probably had gone out and had drinks a couple of times. That whole separation thing is very dicey. But do y'all think that they may have been going on some dates beforehand? I think maybe they were going on some unofficial dates. That might have been happening. Let's see what else is going on. Kiowa to me, I haven't really gone in on Kiowa, haven't called her bitter, because I was raised by a single mom. I tried to think of how my mother would have felt if all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but if there would have came a time where my brother left the home and went to go live with his dad, and how she would have missed him and how she would have felt. So it's been difficult for me to just go there with Kiowa, but now I gotta go there, y'all, because Kiowa's up there lying. She was just lying about stuff that she knows she has said about that woman. And Kimmi, I felt bad for Kimmi because she allowed Kiowa to gaslight her. Kiowa was up there just kind of looking at Kimmi like, I don't know what you're talking about. Kimmi was getting more and more upset to the point where she felt like she was out of pocket. I didn't feel like Kimmi was out of pocket because I've watched enough reunion shows to see what out of pocket is. And to me, I think Kimmi handled herself well enough, but for Kimmi and who she is, I believe she thinks that she acted out of pocket. She was upset and frustrated because she owns her stuff, and she feels like Kiowa is not owning the things that she's done and said. When we ask Kiowa, does she owe Kimmi an apology? Kiowa is just like, for what? And I said, y'all get her off the stage. Get Kiowa off the stage. For all of y'all that's been vouching for Kiowa and all of y'all that's been taking up for Kiowa, I don't know how y'all continue to do it, because she completely showed her hand on that stage. Even when Maurice was crying, saying how warm he felt seeing his son every day, Kiowa was just like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I know how you feel. I felt that way too. And I was just like, I mean, it was just not a drop of emotion, in my opinion. And I want to thank one of my commenters, because I was on the fence where I felt like Monster needed to be home if he wanted to be home. But one of my commenters got me to see that it is very important for a child to have that man in his life, even if he feels like at the time he does not want to do it. It should be attempted because it may be beneficial in the long run. And the reason why I realized this is because this week, my boyfriend had his son, and he had him for the whole week. And throughout the times that I would see his son, if something went on where the son got upset, I coddled him. And he kept telling me, put him down, stop doing that. Like, he gonna do what I told him to do. And don't you coddle him. And I didn't even know that I was a coddler. I didn't even know that I had that in me, but I do apparently. And it made me realize how, if I was raising a son on my own and I did not have that masculine balance, I might have a son that didn't want to take accountability, that was coddled, that didn't really have that strength, that I may want my son to exude, not toxic masculinity, but that strength. And I was just like, dang, like, this is really important. And I didn't really see it that way. And so Monster probably does need to be with Maurice. And look, being with Maurice, trust me, he gonna get both sides, because Maurice don't mind dropping a tear. So he gonna be very in touch with his masculine energies and his feminine energies. So that boy gonna be just fine. But yeah, Kiowa, ooh, child, she is a piece of work. I'm talking about stone face, unapologetic until the very end. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say, we there now. I don't like Kiowa. I don't like Kiowa. And what was especially touching, and what I think is what really sent Kimmi over the edge, and what I hope is going to be the thing that gets Kimmi and Kiowa to a better place, is the fact that Kimmi said, I have vouched for you. I have gotten into arguments with him about you because I've been in your shoes. I know how it feels. I've had the police come knocking at my door trying to take my child away from me because all of a sudden his father wanted to be in the picture. We don't want to get to that point with you. I don't want it to be like that with y'all. And so to hear Kimmi say that to Kiowa's face, I really do hope that helped. Although she is stone cold when y'all, it might not have. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about that. But ooh, child, the ghetto. Anyway, let's move on to Miss Wanda. Okay. Oh, and lastly, Kimmi finally understands that she's not gonna get her apology. Thank you, girl, because we tried to tell you. Now, Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda comes out. Y'all, Miss Wanda's a fan favorite. I know Miss Wanda's exciting. I know Miss Wanda's shady. I know Miss Wanda is interesting to watch. But Miss Wanda is wrong. Okay? Miss Wanda is wrong. When it comes to being in her daughter's marriage, she should not be there. She is too much in the sauce. She is too much in the mix. And Tisha allows her to do it. She shouldn't be in it. All right, that's just the long and short of it. It's funny. It's interesting to watch. She doesn't believe that Marcel is a cheater with 20 different women's per se. But look how handsome him is. Did she say him is? What did she say? Look how handsome. I think she said him is. Marcel's a handsome guy, and I think that maybe he did cheat with one woman, maybe not recently, but he has cheated like in the past. I think Marcel has had other women, but not 20 different women. She followed him at 2:00 in the morning. I said, what was Marcel doing out at 2:00 in the morning? Was it a construction job that started early? Does he work on a shipyard? Is he working graveyard somewhere? Is he going to McDonald's and preparing breakfast? Why was he leaving at 2:00 in the morning? But okay. She followed him, and he was going where he said he was going. And so she did pull up on him like Mel suggested. Now, speaking of Mel, I remember she said how handsome him are. Speaking of Mel, though, there was a situation on Twitter where, or was it Twitter or Facebook? Either way, Miss Wanda was on live talking about Martell, saying how trifling he was, saying that he was miserable and he was just trying to bring everybody down with him because he was the cheater and he was the one running around on his wife, and now he was trying to bring Marcel into it, just calling them all kind of stuff. And she went off, all right? Martell saw it. They went back and forth. Mel saw it. Neither her or Martell appreciated it. And so Miss Wanda says that she did end up apologizing to Martell. Martell kind of accepted it, but Melody did not. So she just don't deal with Melody. But at the time, that was how she felt, and she probably shouldn't have said anything, but she did say something. So again, Miss Wanda was in it. Miss Wanda was in it. But Miss Wanda is in it because she's allowed to be in it, but somebody do kind of need to tell her to step back just a little bit, especially when it comes to her daughter's marriage. Let me see if I forgot anything with Miss Wanda. All right. I think that's it. So when everybody gets back on stage, Egypt wants to know, can this situation be repaired? Tisha, I don't know if Tisha was nervous, but she was laughing while she was, I think she was nervous, but she was just kind of like, well, I think that we can get past it. I think that we can move forward as successful as we are. We all bring different things to the table with business, which is originally what we watched the show for. We wanted to see y'all do business together. And I think we all bring a lot to the table. I think we could get back to the mission that we had at hand, but it's just about us getting over the petty drama and, getting over the past. And I was just like, is she uncomfortable? It was a laugh for real. Like, what was it? I think she was uncomfortable. And so Melody makes the comment that, she would like to get over it. She would like to move forward. She does want to get over the past, but there's just been a lot of things done. Speaking of a lot of things done, we end up having to bring Miss Wanda back out on the stage because they have to discuss what happened with the police report. Marcel filed a police report because things got out of hand after Miss Wanda made her post in her live, and Martell was making some threats, and he didn't know how far it was going to go, so he filed a police report. Martell says that he was very upset with what Miss Wanda did. He did not appreciate it, and he was even more upset that neither Marcel nor Tisha told her to take the video down. So what it all ends up being, okay, is that they wanted Tisha to apologize, and they wanted Marcel to apologize, and they wanted that apology to be public. Marcel wasn't given a public apology because he felt like he didn't do it, so why do I have to give one? Miss Wanda felt like, I already apologized to y'all, and y'all didn't accept it, and then Martell is just like, you don't get to disrespect my wife on this stage. You don't get to, the only person disrespect my wife on this stage is me. He didn't say that, but Martell, you are the most disrespectful one when it comes to your wife and the way that you move, but I guess we're going to let bygones be bygones. But Miss Wanda was just like, why do y'all want Tisha and Marcel to apologize for something I did? And I kind of agree with that. If Miss Wanda was the one that did the live, if Miss Wanda was the one that was out of pocket, if Miss Wanda's the one that owes you an apology, I don't owe you that. But Mel's thing is, y'all should have at least told her to take the video down, which Tisha says that she did tell her to take the video down. She just didn't say anything publicly. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Are we just kind of, apples and oranges type thing? Like, you should have apologized to me publicly, but you didn't apologize to me publicly, so I have a problem with that. I don't know. Like, to me, it just all seems like they got bigger issues, if you ask me, than who apologized for a Facebook Live. But Mel does reveal that they've done a lot for the Scotts. When Marcel lost his job at the movie theater, I said, not the movie theater, Mel. You ain't got to be putting that man. When he lost his job, when they didn't have a car, we said drive one of ours. We have been there for them. And so our hurt comes from another place, and we feel disrespected, which, to sum it all up, this is what I think. I think that Mel and Martell are probably the type of friends whose business you make sure you stay away from. And when I say business, I mean that of the personal kind. Because when they're at odds, you're their confidant. When they get back together, you could possibly be their enemy, especially depending on what you say. I think they're both similar in a lot of their qualities. The only thing is, Mel isn't a cheater. But in a lot of stuff they have going on, they are very similar. And they probably are not the easiest people to be friends with. But if you're going to be friends with them, you kind of know that right off. As far as the Scotts, I do believe Tisha admires Mel. I believe that Tisha did do a lot of the things that Mel has done. I've gone to her Instagram and I've seen the stuff she's doing. It is very similar. I believe that Tisha is bad at taking accountability. Okay. I think that she does not own her stuff, okay, in the way that Kimmi always talks about. And even on this reunion, she allowed Mel to go first in the apology, which it makes her look again like, I'm not going to apologize unless you apologize. And I'm not going to own my stuff unless you own your stuff. And so with the two of them, I don't know if they could ever repair their friendship. It's just been too much stuff going on. It's been too many comments made. It's gotten even to marriages. And thank God it hasn't gotten to the kids. It's just been too much talking, too much backbiting on both ends. I just don't think that they can improve the friendship. And I don't even think if there are two groups of people that need to be friends, especially in the limelight. Kimmi and Maurice, I don't have any problems with them. Y'all can let me know, do you think the friendship can be repaired? What do you think about Tisha, really? I think that she started feeling herself a little bit. Like, she became a little bit of a fan favorite, and she kind of got into the groove, and the groove was just a little bit too much for her and what her emotions were willing to handle. Because like I told you, Mel is about that life. Okay. She is about the bag. She is about the reads. She is about the shade. And if you can't handle that, then I wouldn't tangle with her. But I do think Mel is a certain personality that is difficult to be friends with. I don't know if I could be her friend because she has a lot of ways about her that maybe are not necessarily all that great. But at the end of the day, she is about her money first. And all that other BS is later. So if you can't get with that, then you really can't be cool with her. But I agree that there was a lot of talk about what she did that got done by other people later. And I just wish the best for her. I just want Mel to keep it real, okay, when it comes to that whole thing with her and Martell. And I would like the Scotts to keep it real as well. So like I said, they both similar. They're both the couples are very similar. They just on different ends of the spectrum. But y'all can let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. That was pretty much all of the reunion. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.